Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Untitled Sickos Project, where it's the Thanksgiving special, everyone. And you may ask, but it's not Thanksgiving. Well, it will be in 2 days. I'm Bears fan, and I have three lovely people here joining us for the podcast feast: Magnum Trash, MaskedAura, and Nickman. Before before we start, I do have some interesting news. UMass has scored the second most amount of points they have all season. It
Oh, the
14.
game. Oh, the game.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
apparently the game started at like 3:30. I had no fucking clue. But yes, but before we get all that, we do have a little welcome mat, and believe it or not, I have the welcome mat, and it's sports related. So this Saturday, I wasn't able to catch a lot of college football. I peeked the scores here and there, but I didn't watch a ton. That's because I was at a semifinal high school football championship game, and let me say, it was one of the fucking it was like watching a 1920s offenses go up against each other. Like they were running wing T all day, and God, was it great. So it was 0-0 at halftime. If you need to know the beauty of it, but essentially, I went there with my father because he works at the school. So we go there. Nothing happens at half. So the team that we're not rooting for ends up scoring first. That's whatever and everything. But it's okay. The team that we're rooting for goes ahead and scores down, but it pretty much feels like next score wins at that point. And I believe they had the lead because they kicked a field goal and they stuffed the team that I'm rooting for with a 2-point they stuffed them on a 2-point conversion. So here's where the chaos happens. Both these teams don't know how to throw the football. The team that has been in the lead throughout most of the day, who doesn't throw the football, and actually threw a pick earlier in the game, had all the momentum, all the clock in the world to go down and drain. First play of the fourth quarter, you know what they do? Any guesses?
They fumble.
They throw a pass, and it's picked off on the first play of the fourth quarter. So that happens. Eventually, the team that I'm rooting for goes down and scores. A lot of momentum completely shifts. The entire because we're the away team. The entire mood just shifts to the other side. But it doesn't really help any because we're still down. Because they go down, score a touchdown, they're still up. So basically, our team has to onside kick it. They onside kick it, but not really. It seems like they were going for a kickoff, but it was such a weird one where it where it bounced up in the air like super far, and no one even tried to attempt a fair catch it or anything, and they just ended up letting it fall. And the dude who had it right in front of him. He tries picking up the ball, he misses it, and immediately the team that I'm rooting for covers. So essentially, a kickoff that was basically substituted into an onside got us the ball back, and we end up taking the lead. Now here comes the fun part. There's 1 minute to go. They're driving down the field. Ball's at the 19-yard line. I just want to say this. I have never in my life have heard of a 19-yard Hail Mary, but for the first time in all my life, I saw what a 19-yard Hail Mary looks like. And the craziest thing too, they fucking caught the damn ball. It goes through two defenders' hands. It looked like it was picked off, but he was able to get his body in bounds for the touchdown. So now they're down by 1, but if they kick the extra point, it'll be tied. They kick the extra point and then miss it. It fucking slings all the way to the right. However, running into the kicker. They go for it. They go for 2 to go for the kill. They push it, and it didn't work. So that's how my father's school that he works at is now going to state for the first time in like 80 and for the first time in like 50 years.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
But other than that, we got some stuff to talk about real quick on the college football landscape. I don't believe there was anything going on Thursday or Friday this week, last week, if I remember correctly. Oh, actually there was. Luke, I feel like you should have the floor, because I know you just love to talk about this team so much. Revenge Tour. Wait, they're not bowl eligible?
Yeah, they're playing Florida.
Like, I guess it's an improvement on last season.
Also, they're not firing. Not going to be firing Norvell for reasons that I can only say
They
can
don't
be
have buyout money.
translated to we don't have the money to buy out. We don't have the money to pay the buyout.
With how scuffed the ACC is, though, would it surprise you if they somehow went 10-2 next season? Just because of how the ACC is?
The ACC is stupid and I fucking hate it. Florida State's a miserable shit stain of a fucking league. They're not gonna go bowling. Florida, please, for the love of fucking God, fucking beat them!
Well, that's Luke's thoughts.
I've made it very clear to these guys that the ACC should not have a college football playoff spot this year. Like, just give it to another division winner. Give it to another
By the way,
conference winner.
Jasper says he can't hear
Yeah,
you.
no, I fixed. It's been fixed.
Gotcha.
One of the things that I will say with you on the ACC, if it's Duke or SMU that are the representatives of the ACC, give it to fucking North Texas and
We're getting
James
Pitt.
Madison.
Oh no, I don't want to see Pitt in the CFB. I'd much rather see fucking Wake Forest there.
Because, I mean, as much as it's unexciting, unfortunately, Pitt, Miami, Georgia Tech I would put them over James Madison and North Texas for the CFP bid. But if it's SMU or Duke that win the ACC, I would not want to be the CFP playoff committee. Tell you that
They're
much.
Look,
Well, I mean,
feel like
SMU is playing a team that just fired their head coach, and they're going to Cal, so who knows what's going to happen.
this is the most Cal wins LOL game of all time.
Not even that. It's just this. The ACC, the lack of consistency, it just fuels to all this fucking cousin sex having fucking tooth missing Neanderthals of all time. The SEC just means more!
Hey.
I'm sorry, the Big Ten hasn't done themselves any favor this year either.
No. I was just gonna say for the ACC. That the redneck territory is literally West Virginia. So West Virginia's Big 12. Never mind. Lol. I forgot West Virginia was Big 12.
West Virginia.
Yeah.
Take me home. Country road.
We got some funny to go to. Let's, of course, glance over the game. SMU beats Louisville. Let's just briefly look at Missouri, Oklahoma. how is this team somehow making the college football playoffs?
Defense.
Always
Like, all
defense.
defense.
Always defense.
It's funny too because Mateer even then he didn't have a phenomenal game against Missouri, but he did enough.
Yeah. Did just enough for the defense to have a good time out there against Missouri. Not much else you can really ask for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, Wake Forest beats Delaware. Ohio State beats Rutgers in the shocker of all time. We can quickly look at this. Magnum, what's going on with Northwestern?
They're bowl eligible, baby.
That's awesome for them. What were they last year?
Not bowl eligible. It's
yeah. They they in Wrigley they had to go up against Minnesota. It was down to the wire. Preston Stone probably had the best game he's had all year. And it all went down to a missed field goal by Minnesota to clinch bowl eligibility for Northwestern.
First time Northwestern has won at Wrigley.
That's sad. Because I remember like 2 or 3 years ago, Iowa played at Wrigley against Northwestern, and Iowa
no one in
that
Chicago.
year.
Despite everything, no one gives a shit about Northwestern in Chicago. It's not. Chicago's not a college football town, or at least in terms of Northwestern.
Yeah,
like it's always been all around the Big Ten except for Northwestern and Notre Dame, of course. But that's it.
Yeah. I was gonna say I heard Drake Lindsay had a good game, but I mean stat wise it looks like it. Minnesota's weird. They still feel like a very solid put together team, and I really do feel like this was a huge win for Northwestern. Because being a nerd college, if you're 7-5 and getting to play a bowl game, that's cool. That's nice. But a lot of interesting things for Northwestern right now.
Speaking of Minnesota, speaking of the Gophers, yeah, they're a weird team because they are undefeated at home this year, but they're winless on the road.
Well, they're going to be 7-5 going in because they're playing Wisconsin.
No, they're going to go 6-6 as God has intended. Doesn't matter. This team is going 6-6. This is the will of the Lord. It is 6-6 as the Lord intended.
In more ACC news, Miami beats Virginia Tech. Go figure. Iowa State beats Kansas. Texas A&M dogs an FCS team. Old Dominion beats Georgia Southern. Baylor gets mollywatts by Arizona. Georgia puts 35 on Charlotte, which is frankly a disappointment if I'm being completely fair. Because like a 35-3 Charlotte game seems like something that would just happen in regular American Conference game, but that was against Georgia, so it's just kind of like, we'll see. Tulsa beats Army, putting Army's bowl eligibility in some doubt. Auburn beats Mercer. Nevada beats Wyoming in a showcase of all time. Also, apparently Brock Purdy's brother, Chuba Hubbard, is just a running back now.
Yeah, he's always been a running back.
I thought he played quarterback at Wisconsin or whatever it was.
No, it was Nebraska. He did play quarterback, but he's always been kind of more like, he is basically just a run-first guy.
Gotcha. Kennesaw State ends up beating Missouri State, in which I gotta say, shout outs to both teams. Both of them look very solid.
For the first time since their jump to FBS, Kennesaw State is bowl eligible.
Yeah, not to mention too, they could win the American Conference. It's going to be
CUSA.
CUSA. My bad. Conference USA.
Depending upon how the
and
chips may fall, we could also be seeing Missouri State if there's spots available.
True. It would require Western Kentucky and Jacksonville Gamecocks loss, but it is possible. Other than that,
And Florida State losing. Florida State losing. They're 5-7. Washington State would have to lose.
Yeah.
Bryce would have to lose. Let's see. What are 5-win teams? Let's quickly scroll up. Mississippi State needs to lose. Kansas needs to lose. Buffalo needs to lose. We've got Temple needs to lose. And then we got Baylor needs to lose. Kentucky needs to lose. Kansas State needs to lose.
A lot of teams need to lose.
Delaware wins. They will still be part of the category, but they need Marshall to lose, Georgia Southern to lose, and Appalachian State and Arkansas State to lose to become Louisiana to lose, Texas State to lose to become. They need Penn State or Rutgers to lose as well. Oh my god, I keep finding so much. Point is, there's a lot of teams that have not clinched a bowl spot. There's going to be some spots opened. So, yeah.
We'll see. In other, also too, Washington State loses to James Madison in I do want to bring up real quick, because I will just say right now, it's not like it really matters that much. North Texas beat Rice and all. It was another blowout. But I just want to ask, what side are you guys on? You know, we're bringing the politics to the Thanksgiving table. Are you pro James Madison or pro North Texas?
James Madison.
I think just in terms of strength, I feel like I think I would go North Texas, just because the American is much more stronger than the Sun Belt.
Yep.
So,
I mean, it depends though. It depends on what happens with the American, considering that North Texas still has one team above them at the moment.
They've been I'll give it. The American has been devouring itself, which has made it like a very entertaining prospect. Like James Madison would get in purely based on consistency.
Yeah. Not to mention too, their defense and offense is ranked both in the top 20 in the NCAA.
might win the American. There's a good chance.
True.
I don't hate the American. I've actually really enjoyed the entertainment value it brings, and my hope is that it could work itself into a power conference. I don't think it would. You would have the military schools to stop acting like football is like in the 1970s and actually start recruiting.
That's Aura. You can't get rid of Aura.
Yeah, but there's a huge
tradition
vacuum.
is tradition.
I know tradition, but fuck tradition. There, I said it. Move on.
I mean,
because imagine Army and Navy as powerhouses. I'd be so down for that.
If Army and Navy becomes powerhouses, I will totally justify the amount of money we are sending to them currently. Until that happens, this is the shit that we put out on the football field. Hell no.
Because Liberty and Tulane will always be a competitive school. Like they always put out a competitive football product. I think there's a lot of there's only a small handful of teams that would kind of fall behind of it in a weird way. But the way how I see it, I think the American would greatly benefit from working its way into a better competitive state than what it is right now.
But moving on. guys, Middle Tennessee State University beat Sam Houston, which was just a battle between which loser ass team wants to become 3-0. I mean, wants to become a 3-win team instead of a 2-win team. App State beats Marshall in a semi interesting upset, considering that App State was not favored in that game. Toledo blows the tires off of Ball State. Alabama trounces Eastern Illinois. USF beat UAB. UConn keeps on playing every single game like it's a Madden game. New Mexico beats UTEP. Louisiana Tech beat Liberty, and Liberty is gonna be not bowl eligible this year. And now we get to more of the fun games. Oregon versus USC. I caught bits and pieces.
I really like Dan Lanning's post-game comments after the game. The jabba that he made towards the SEC. He said, "You know, your guys are playing like these little bitch schools, whereas we're out here competing." And I'm like, this is exactly what I want the SEC to not do. Don't play FCS opponents in your last 2 to 3 games of the year. You don't need tune-ups. You're better than this. But I like the jab that he made toward the SEC.
They're moving. I mean, they're moving the amount of conference games up to 9 this year. Up to 9 next year. Is it 9 or 8? Remember?
Yeah,
to me, it really doesn't mean much because the way
I'm so glad Ren isn't here because then we'd have to hear "Don't Doubt 9" constantly.
Doubt 9. Well, I mean, because like the thing about what I feel the SEC should do, and I think the Big Ten should be in on this, is that they don't have an FCS opponent. They play a G6. They go out of their way to schedule a Big Ten opponent, and their last out-of-conference game is versus an ACC or Big 12.
I'm not... Go ahead.
I just feel like they would be lost if that would happen. Because I really do enjoy...
I'm hearing robot.
We got robot. I will say this on that point. I don't think the elimination of FCS should... Yeah, that's better.
So I'm on my iPad now. And something would be lost if that were to happen, because like a lot of FCS, the reason a lot of people go through FCS opponents, a lot of people go to FCS is, you know, the potential like exposure of the opponents.
Yeah, and I'm not ruling that out. You could still have your Power 4 experience versus... Because like I've been mulling this over a lot, and I think I need to sit down and make a video about where I would like college football to go, in my opinion. But as much as, yes, you're right about the exposure part, but I think that you're going to, you know, the Big 12 and the ACC is still on the table. Any of all the G6 schools that will still be playing FCS, I think because of the prestigious conference, you don't need them. I think a G6 opponent does that very well, and I want to see the SEC and Big Ten to start devour each other consistently, because it makes for an entertaining product for college sports.
Personally, I agree with what you're saying. I do think it would really miss the...
I think that's what bowl season's for. That's what...
Fair enough. I was just gonna say,
but problem with bowls, bowl season has its own problem though. You probably have more than half the starters are transferring and are not playing the game, and the exposure part does work because a lot of backups are gonna get some tape on them, and I think that's really wonderful. You know, there's certain things that I would like to be adjusted for college sports, purely because I mean, like, big games.
I get that. I would just say I don't think getting rid of it is the right answer. I think it's more of a merit system. Like, you should try to, but if you're not able to, then go with the FCS, because not to mention too, sometimes the smaller schools just don't have the money. Like legitimately, like what are you gonna rather want, a $50,000 payday from Missouri State or a $1 million payday from Alabama, and you're basically covered your entire trip?
Yeah, I'm fine because that I'm fine with, because then my other suggestion would be to extend the regular season by 3 games to where you get your FCS, you get your G6 opponent, and then you would get your 3 out of conference games with the ACC, Big 12, and Big 10, and then you would have your 9 conference games. I would try that, and then you start early August.
I don't like that, only because, and I mean this only because, we've seen the summer leagues, like during those hot weathers, it's almost damn near impossible to play decent ball. And
but
personally,
I'm saying, think of it this way:
I think one extra game wouldn't hurt. Like one FCS, like if there was like a universal like FBS versus FCS like day, I think that would be very nice, because that way you'd have everyone on the level playing field, and you'd have the opportunity of so many upsets on one day.
I think you could easily do that in the first 2 weeks of the Priest, because think of it this way: when you're playing against an FCS, everybody's likely playing, even versus G6. Everybody's going to get some reps in. Everybody's going to be playing. It's considered like it's a regular season game, but it's preseason with air quotes. You can do that for the first 2 weeks of the season. And then by when you hit Labor Day, you've got like your out of conference like competitive games, to where think how entertaining that weekend would be.
Okay, then in that case, here's what I think. Most teams should be playing week 0 against FCS opponents.
Yes.
Week 0 should be week 0, aka FBS versus FCS.
And do a week earlier, because then 1 week's FBS versus FCS. The week after that, I would say, is Power 4 versus G6. Who's gonna come out on top? And then you've got your Labor Day weekend, where you're like everything feels like you're really kicking the season off. And then also my proposal is you move the Army and Navy game to kick off the college season. I think that'd be pretty cool. The thing that makes me a little bit upset about it is the CFP is already determined before the game. And I'd rather it would be put before.
I know you hate when I say it, but it's a Thanksgiving tradition. You're Canadian,
then why aren't they playing this why isn't then the week of Thanksgiving then dedicated? The game is 2 weeks after Thanksgiving. You can't call it a Thanksgiving tradition. It's playing 2 weeks after Thanksgiving. Right, that's not a Thanksgiving tradition.
Happy?
Nah. Look, man, all I think is that college football is fine enough where it is.
It's fine where it is, but I have a couple ideas that's been bouncing in my head.
Fair enough. In other news, Vandy beats Kentucky. Vandy still keeps their CFB hopes alive. UTSA beats ECU. And who wants to give Syracuse the gunshot? The goodbye.
They were dead.
I have bad news. Bad news. They're already dead.
Joey Aguilar. The minute Joey Aguilar went out for the season, it was game over.
Joey Aguilar is the Kentucky quarterback. The quarterback you are meaning is Steve Angeli.
Sorry, my bad. They both started with A.
Both of you guys are wrong. Joey Aguilar's Tennessee, isn't he?
Yeah, I said Tennessee.
Oh,
you said Kentucky.
You said Kentucky.
God damn it! Yeah, Kentucky was on my mind. I meant Tennessee, but yeah, Steve Angeli is the quarterback that was doing well for Syracuse, but then got injured, and now they're just in hell.
They're
By the way,
directionless.
You want to know the funniest stat line from this game? CJ Carr threw 5 passes for 9 attempts for 49 yards and a touchdown. That is the most Chad ineffective stat of all time. And then it gets better when you realize Jeremiah Love, there we go. It gets really funnier when you realize Jeremiah Love carried the ball 8 times, got 171 yards and 3 touchdowns. He didn't even have to do much. But
329 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns on the ground for Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
They're fighting back. No one I've proved last year wasn't a fluke. We'll see. Duke beats UNC. FIU beats Jacksonville State. South Alabama beats USM. Texas beats Arkansas. And once again, Arkansas is just having the season from hell, where everything just seems to go wrong.
They're also in the cut share.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Very much so. Very much so.
Utah versus Kansas State. I'm still wrapping my head around that one. Is Utah good?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was the best way to describe this game is this was a classic Big 12 game.
Fair enough.
Like over 1,100 yards of total offense and 98 combined points.
Damn. Jeebus Christ.
18 of 21 on for his
Troy beats Georgia State. Michigan beats the Eternal Fell For It Again Award in Maryland. Tulane beats Temple. Clemson beats an FCS opponent, Furman. South Carolina dick punches Coastal Carolina. TCU beats Houston. Houston, never come back.
Houston, you're... it's fine. You know, it's because you're in the Big 12, I'm gonna let it slide because this conference is chaotic as fuck.
UCF barely beats Oklahoma State in what I could call as the gritting teeth bowl. And time for the other address me in the room, Georgia Tech and Pitt.
Tech, what the fuck was that shit, man? What the fuck was that? Seriously.
I think Haynes King's Heisman hopes died that day.
Yep.
It did.
My hopes in Georgia Tech died that day because literally the ACC, like a spot in the AC title game, was literally Georgia Tech's to lose. It was to fucking lose. And
the crazy thing is that I really thought Georgia Tech was they were gonna pull a comeback because it felt like a comeback was about to happen. Like everyone could feel a comeback on the horizon. And then that pick 6 happened.
yeah. So let's if you want to take a look ahead at this week for the ACC, there's lots of implications because there's a lot of teams that are still in this fucking thing. Shut up, ESPN. All right, so Pitt versus Miami, big one this weekend. Because even if Miami wins this game, they will not make the ACC. Holy shit, they will not even make the ACC championship if they win this game. Because if SMU and Virginia win. Oh, that's sad.
Virginia has Virginia
God.
Tech, and that's the craziest part.
Dude, they would need Virginia to lose. They would need. They're behind. They would.
Does anyone have that fucking like chart like of the ACC stuff again? I need to see that. I need a refresher.
Imagine in summary, if Virginia wins, Miami is out. So that's kind of, to put it blatantly, Virginia will know because Virginia plays at 4. Miami plays at 9, so we'll know if Pitt's eliminated. Very early.
9.
Very early. They
9.
start at 9 a.m. PST. Going to the afternoon slate, nothing too exciting going on except if Duke somehow wins. By the way, they're still eligible! If fucking Duke wins and if fucking Duke wins, Miami loses. Oh, dude, I think Duke's out. I think Duke's out. Duke's out. Unless, maybe, who knows? I have no idea. Someone will have to explain it to me and I'll be like, sure.
Just kidding. Unless.
Whatever. If then, if how, whatever. But we'll know who's going to be in the final because if Virginia and SMU both win.
This is what I'm saying. I don't think an ACC team should make the college football playoffs this year.
If it's Virginia and SMU, I'm fine for Virginia making it in. Virginia, yes. SMU, no. I'm fine for Pitt, Tech, and Miami to be the ACC representative if they were in the finals and were to win.
Why do you hate SMU so much? Why do you hate us?
SMU has 3 losses. That's why.
Yeah,
there's no happy way for this, but like 9-3, I don't think they should be. The ACC should get the spot, and especially
plus SMU's just gonna pull the same shit that they did last year.
Yeah,
where it's guys, look at us, we're so hype and we're so cool, and then do nothing in the CFB. I hate that. It's just I feel like it's that every single goddamn time with that team.
Yeah, because, like, remember, it's an at-large, like, because there's no way you're going to have an ACC championship not make it in, but someone from the ACC getting an at-large bid into it. That makes no sense.
Anyways, UMass is, up touchdown, Bowling Green. Yep, UMass is going to go 0-12.
Aww.
Let's go!
Alright, well, we...
First year in the MAC, going 0-12.
Well, he's playing the music.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
But anyways,
man, we could
be careful. Your eardrums are about to get blasted out, chat. I have no sympathy.
Well, guys, I just wanted to say, as much as I want to like sit here and make fun of UMass, I think they just make fun of themselves. You know what I mean?
Congratulations, MAC Conference. Back-to-back years where a team from the MAC has finished 0-12.
Look, man.
Listen, this is a newcomer though. Like they haven't earned their stripes yet, you know. Like, but
UMass has been
MAC Warriors.
Independent for a very long time.
Wait, they just now joined a conference?
Yes.
Yeah, they just joined the MAC this year. They just joined.
Oh my god.
So UMass is they're a very fun team. Let's not. They are extremely funny.
The funniest part is this is
like
the most fun thing for all YouTube.
The year, like, I feel, again, I just go back to the game against Buffalo, where they had it. They intercepted the ball. All they had to do was just run down the clock, and they do 3 passing plays.
Their running back was like 179 and a touchdown. He was bitching that defense, and yet they still lost. Man, man, I think it's hard to make fun of someone who actively pisses their pants and go, haha, it was my whole joke to make fun of myself. And it's like, sure it was, dude. Sure it was.
Yeah, it's
I
very
just feel
funny
bad for
because
this team, man.
I look at UMass and it's very funny.
I'm just going through their history. When was the last time they went bowling? I got it.
They haven't. They haven't because remember they transitioned to FBS in 2012. They originally joined the MAC and then they left the MAC and now they had to come back to it and they go 0-12.
One win. 2014. Fucking 3 wins. 3 wins.
By the way,
2 wins.
By the way, you want to know their highest? You want to know their highest winning season? It comes in 1901, where they went 8-1.
They won 1 game.
In 19.
There's 3. They won the The fuck is this shit? They have had 5 1-win seasons, 3 2-win seasons, dude. God, go back to the FCS. This ain't for you, little bro.
No. It gets so much better. Like I said, they have gone over. They have gone over 500 precisely 3 times in their career, and that would be in 1899, fucking 1903, 1901, and 1904. So the last time these guys had anything higher than like a 6-win season, the World War I hasn't even started yet. The Archduke is still alive.
The Titanic hadn't happened either.
There was still a race issue in the United States when this team was.
There still is today. So
well, yeah, but back in the day, there was a.
But the crazy thing is, the real crazy thing is that their most successful coach since transitioning to the FBS, he resigned and took the Pittsburgh offensive coordinator job.
Mark.
Imagine being so bad you have to go to Pitt. Being so you have to go.
UMass is on their own state of ass. I mean, I feel like the new phrase should be "take him to UMass," and I'll just beg for mercy. No, not UMass. No.
Take him to the bad part of Boston. Which part? The bad part. Aren't all of it bad? UMass. Send him to UMass.
Yeah, their head coach in 2024 is now the Dartmouth offensive coordinator.
Oh man, he fucked up to the Ivy League. He fucked up to the...
Wow.
Good Lord.
Jesus Christ. Like, if you're not bowl eligible, you fucking shouldn't even be in this fucking...
Yep, the game is over. The game is over.
Oh.
UMass is officially 0-12.
Man.
Well, UMass, go back to the FCS. This ain't for you, little bro. This
no. Go down to Div 2.
Sure.
This shit ain't like this. You're not built for this, man. You're not built for.
Mm-hmm.
Look, man. Look, man. It's over, and that's okay. Reminder, guys. It's never too early. It's never too early. Anywho, back to the funny that my brain just decided to ignore. Other than that, Boise State beats Colorado State, Penn State beats Nebraska, Texas State beats ULM, North Texas puts the fucking tire iron to ass against Rice, and let's all oh, hello there. I'm quick. Hey, Noah. Noah, you're here. Do you want to laugh at Illinois real quick?
Well, first of all, I want to pour one out to the 5 UMass fans there are left.
All
5 of them are in this voice chat right now, and we're becoming
I'm
zero.
gonna be honest, man. Like, I don't think there should be any UMass fans. I just checked their history since joining the FPS.
Not even like the students. Not
even their parents. I think their parents should be like, look, man, we're just happy that you're having fun, Not like a parent who is disappointed, but like a parent who knows their child is in a weird spot, but they just want to support them. Like, hey, champ, I know UMass is a gig currently, but why don't we try looking at some other schools?
Is there even a UMass player in the NFL? I need to know.
There probably are. Actually, there is one. Let me pull it up real quick. Let me pull them up. There are 45. The most famous one being Greg Landry. And the most and actually there are a couple in the NFL from UMass. Isaiah Rodgers, who's currently on the Vikings.
Oh, okay.
All right.
A long snapper named Eric Deckers. Jack Driscoll, and Victor Cruz was from Massachusetts. Remember Victor Cruz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's UMass. And let's see. Stanford beats Cal. Anywho, back to Illinois, Wisconsin. Never rank Illinois again. I am tired. I am tired of this shit, dude.
Hey,
They were never good when
Taegan?
What?
You want to know something? They received 1 vote in the 8th.
That one? Yeah.
Remove their right to vote, please. It should be gone. Plucked. Bye-bye. Never again.
Yeah. It's robot again.
Damn it.
But yeah, fucking Wisconsin. Nope.
I think it's because my internet's
that might be it. But anywho. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like losing to Luke Fickle, like you know the feeling too, Luke. And so it's not good. It's not good.
Not good. Not good at all. I'm more mad at the team and their boneheaded mistakes, and I'm looking at this game and going like, you didn't learn your lesson from playing against Ohio State and Michigan State, and here you are doing the same shit versus Wisconsin. Sure, whatever. Still annoyed. I'm so annoyed by that.
Yeah. Yeah, guys. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's robot again. But yeah.
keep happening.
Look, sometimes it happens. Also, New Mexico beats Air Force. And New Mexico, UNM, I should say, is 8-3, and with a win against the Aztecs, they solidify themselves and put themselves in the Mountain West. In the Mountain West playoffs, I should say.
The Mountain West title game. Yeah. Looking at the Mountain West title game, right now, how it looks. Let's see. First place right now in the conference is San Diego State. They're 6-1 in the conference. Boise State at 5-2. New Mexico 5-2. UNLV 5-2, who, by the way, beat the hell out of Hawaii on Friday. Was very delightful to see that. And basically, Hawaii's out of it 4-3, and so is Fresno State, who also they lost to Utah State, who are both at 4-3.
The funniest part too. UNLV still has a chance to get into the playoffs, so if everything goes right, it could be Lobos versus UNLV.
Would be very funny. Would also probably be a great game.
Mm-hmm. Just don't talk about last time. Arizona State beats what?
Is that aware? I'm aware.
Yes. Arizona State beats Colorado. This is just another season from hell from Colorado. BYU beats Cincinnati. LSU puts only 13 on Western Kentucky. I just want us to all pause here and understand how kind of teeth gritting that is. Other than that, I forgot to mention Iowa somehow beat Michigan State, but I don't really fucking care. Washington beats UCLA in one of their few road game wins this year. The last time they won on the road was against Maryland, barely. But congrats to Washington. They might go bowl. They will hopefully they get a good bowl game. And to cap it all off, San Diego State beats San Jose State.
Some weird reason I want to play Cincinnati because I want to beat my wife. I want to beat my wife's team. I want to play
Crazy.
Cincinnati. They'll have similar records. They're like going to be like finish 8-4, maybe 9-3, and
9-3.
If we finish 8-4, you know, send us to like the Pop-Tart Bowl. No, probably not.
Look, guys. We do not advocate for beating wives here. We do advocate for beating wives' favorite sports teams. Okay, we want to. We are not a pro wife beater podcast. We are a pro beating wives football team podcast. Just to make that all clear.
I want to talk trash. I can't talk trash in college realms because we're probably never going to play each other.
Well, now we go on to the NFL. Unfortunately, guys, I don't have the script for next week. There is no spoiler alert this week, guys. I'm sorry. I know you're all devastated.
Man. You have to. We're doing a podcast on time.
Technically early.
Yeah. Look, man. Okay, let me get the predictions down. Spoiler alert. The Packers beat the Lions. Spoiler alert. The Cowboys destroy the Chiefs. And spoiler alert.
Are you
the Bengals? The Bengals get a last-second field goal against the Ravens, and the Bears beat the Eagles by 10. Anywho,
were you taking like a shit when you were doing
no,
that?
No. I was using my.
He put his thinker cap on.
No.
Man, that was a lot of thinking. Are you okay? That was a lot.
Yeah. Look, man, I had to use all of my thinking power because we've seen me talk about college football game. I've said stuff that's happened in NFL games before, and it just fucking happened.
Oh yeah.
So this is one of the few times I'm pushing this into existence.
Like people don't know. Like he's fucking like Nostradamus. Like that he will like predict anything. Like he will predict the next play. Like exactly. Like he'll predict.
Look, man. I want to say it's ball knowledge. I also just want to say, too. I think someone cursed me with knowledge of traditions. Anywho, Thursday Night Football starts off with Texans and Bills, and if Noah's here, Noah, do you want to start us off with that?
What's up?
To start off the Texans and Bills.
Well, it was a Texans game, to be sure. I'm going to be... I don't really know how to describe this game. Well, I can say this. I feel like the tide turned as soon as Will Anderson got that strip sack fumble on Josh Allen that hurt his throwing hand. He definitely did not look the same after that.
Yeah. Something's just weird about this Bills team. Like,
on the other hand, to continue on, just to say, Houston's defense has saved this season, and Davis Mills has not been bad either.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
He hasn't been special, nowhere near special. He's struggled in all 3 games, absolutely, but he has not made many mistakes.
It has never been a question that the Texans defense is good. The issue is just that like for the longest time, Stroud just has had no chance to do anything on that offense.
Which is
the big
funny
thing for
too.
Houston is that they're not making mistakes. This offense is still not good, but it's not making mistakes, and it is able to move down the field more often than it used to. And this is both
on
under
your point
Stroud
about
and
that.
under Mills. Things do seem a little bit better.
Because you said about not making mistakes, and I'm pretty sure it seems like the Texans' game plan is at least from what I've heard from D'Amico, it really seems like what he's been telling the offense is don't turn the ball over, and the defense will do our jobs on defense. We'll do what we got to do on defense, and just don't turn the ball over. And the Texans, to their credit, have not been turning the ball over, and it's led to better results.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Something that I've been looking at too. When you look at Stroud's first 3 games this season, he had his team had 10 turnovers. And then you look at a game like the Titans where they minimized turnovers, they handily beat them. You look at a team like the Ravens, they minimized turnovers and beat them. Then you look at a game like Seattle, Granted, they made turnovers, but still couldn't beat them. But I think that's just because CJ Stroud's game plan for that game was to die behind that offensive line.
On another note, I believe is important to note is, well, the running game. Well, first of all, Nico Collins, he's finally getting targets. Remember when it took like 2 weeks for Nico Collins to find? It took until week 2 in Monday Night Football to finally get his first touchdown. It took another week for him to finally get his first game-tying touchdown. This is the first time he's thrown it. This is the first time, really, ever since Mills got on the court. Seems like this is the Mills to Collins combination has actually worked better than Stroud to anyone.
Again,
Not sure what changed in that regard.
Again, I've said this. I think if this year has shown anything, you should ride with the hot hand quarterback until it runs out. Because I feel like they kind of took away the reins from Mac Jones a little bit too early. He didn't totally fizzle out, and we saw most recently with this Monday night game, which we'll get to later, that maybe you should just ride with the hot hand quarterback because sometimes you just need the momentum to get you into the playoffs.
Purdy played
It doesn't
last
matter
week
how.
too, and he did fine. So I mean, like, I think it's just recency bias on your end. I think that's just
Potentially. Not my bad. I can't say potentially. We'll talk about Justin Herbert later. But my whole point is, I think with just how Stroud has played, I think running with Davis Mills, especially against the Colts, do you want CJ Stroud to go out there and potentially get hurt behind that Colts pass rush? Personally, no. You put Mills out there. If he doesn't do well, then going into next week, you have the week after. Ooh, the cheat.
Honestly, just
Never
gotta
mind.
rip off that Band-Aid. You just gotta rip
I
off
wouldn't
that
necessarily
Band-Aid.
say Mills is driving the hot hand. He's been playing the careful hand. He's been playing with the hand he's dealt and playing it very well. But I don't think he's not doing anything truly incredible. He doesn't have like this incredible throw that will define highlight reels for the next couple of weeks.
Not true. He had one. He had one in 2022, and it made 3 of us in this voice chat very happy.
Mm-hmm.
True.
He is a Bears legend and will always be. I will never say anything bad about him. But I do
Everyone
agree
has
with what you're
one.
saying.
All right. So anyway, with that in mind, as much as it is an impressive win for the Houston Texans, it's also, as you mentioned, Taegan, a huge red flag for the Bills. And I interrupted you before you started going on that, so proceed.
I was just saying, this Buffalo team has been very inconsistent. And normally there's a good bit of inconsistency with this Buffalo team, and that happens. But this is not what we're typically used to with Buffalo. Like, the game against the Texans, it really does feel like Buffalo wins those games. But yet games against games that they should win, they're just not winning. They beat KC, but still. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the thing is, it's been the same old song and dance for the last 2 years or so. Their defense is just full of holes, and a lot of their wins is due to Josh Allen carrying that team. And for right now, Josh Allen is looking very mortal right now. So
very mortal. And this is kind of the basis of how I was looking at the Bills going into this season and early in the season, where the Bills weren't, looking like a perfect team by any means, but they were getting wins and they were doing what they had to do. The Bills, especially like in the past couple of years, it really they have been a very flawed team. Like as Magna mentioned, they got holes on defense, and they've had holes on defense for God knows how long now. And they do have issues in the receiving core and all of that. But a lot of that can be forgiven when someone like Josh Allen was playing as well as he was in the second half of 2023 and especially last season. A lot of that can be forgiven when you have a quarterback playing as well as Josh Allen was. The way that Josh Allen is playing in 2025 does not justify that. It is not sustainable enough for what we've seen from this Bills team, and that's just not good enough right now.
Yeah. Not to mention, too, he's been incredibly reckless with the ball this year. Like, I don't know if he's just putting a little bit too much faith into his receivers. I don't know what's really going on. And granted, I will say this. A couple of the interceptions is kind of justified considering that we forgot to mention Josh Allen got sacked 8 times in that
Most
Texans
teams ever
game.
gotten sacked in a single game.
Yeah, so I get it. I get that game, but look at he already has through 11 games 9 interceptions. For reference, his season with the most interceptions was 2023, where people were calling for Joe Brady's head that year because of how fucking reckless he was letting Josh Allen be.
Well, actually, they were only saying that because someone already got the axe that year. That was the year that Ken Dorsey got fired, and that's when Brady came in as the replacement. Which, I think I've been seeing some certain discussions about what Bills fans on Twitter have been having to say about this offense, and it's kind of ugly. It's kind of ugly to see.
Yeah, it's just. And again, I don't want to rag on Allen. Like, there still are good parts of this team. Like, James Cook has had a phenomenal season. If it wasn't for the fact that Jonathan Taylor existed, James Cook would be getting a hell of a lot more looks than he already has. But it's just... Man, it's just weird, man. Allen's been playing mixed. The defense has been playing awful. And next week, they're going up against a team equally as volatile in the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, we'll see. Other than that, let's get to the Sunday slate of games. First things first, we had a couple of overtime finishes, which we'll get to those. But let's get the more boring games out of the way. Starting off with Vikings-Packers. Do we just want to say 9 and leave it at that?
Yeah, 9 is not good.
I'm hearing a lot of people try to defend J.G. McCarthy because of the offensive line, and it is bad. It is very bad. But Jake is not making his case, man. He is making some bad.
Jonathan James McCarthy he's been I think a lot. The thing is that he's not making bad mad at decisions. The issue is that his mechanics is just so it's just so fucked because he either overthrows it or underthrows it. That I feel like he doesn't have he's always all in on certain things, and that you just can't do that in the NFL. You can't just do.
Yeah, he has here's the best way I can describe him. He's Jackson Dart without the Jackson Dart talent.
Even back in Michigan, he was not a world beater. He definitely
was a game manager. He was a game manager.
Yeah,
he did what you would want from somebody. From what you would want at a college level, but being a game manager at a college level versus the NFL is something very different. And I haven't seen him. It feels like this year I haven't seen him improve whatsoever, and this is especially during a time where nobody's got film on you really. To still be this bad and to show no improvement. Yeah, that's kind of.
Because I watched.
Also, I checked the Vikings Twitter account. I think they're just soft launching Max Brosmer now. I think they're just soft launching.
Yeah. Because the thing is, I got to watch this game, and the first half, McCarthy really did nothing. But it wasn't that great, but it wasn't really that good. But it wasn't anything bad. It wasn't anything that would make you feel just a horrible feeling watching your quarterback go out there and do something like that. First half wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
but that second half.
Yeah. Sorry, it doesn't help that like the Packers defense has just ran all over him today. Five sacks.
That too, but but that second half, that was one of the worst halves of football I've seen a quarterback play this season. That was horrible.
Like currently, like he's his stat lines are like he's in Christian Ponder territories right now. He's in Jamarcus Russell territories.
Yeah.
No, that's a little too extreme.
No. In EPA, his EPA is in he is just slightly above Jamarcus Russell in EPA, but that's like I don't give a shit about EPA. I do want to just
EPA,
defend that point.
What I'm
EPA
trying to say is
thing.
that these are not people that you want to like be surrounded by. Is what I'm trying to say here.
No. His most comparable stat line. This looks like a Justin Fields stat line.
Yeah, but without the running yards, though. Without the no running yards.
Yeah,
now, JJ McCarthy, right now, his current stat line is 929 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions.
Look, man,
they're making player comps from Zach Wilson. It is not looking good, and especially with the Vikings because they were in a win now phase. Like they trusted McCarthy to lead them to something. Like they saw what Darnold did and they let him go because they want to have faith in this young new quarterback, and it has not panned out. So far it's not been panning out, and I don't know how long they're going to keep him around because they were in a win now phase, and now they probably won't even make the playoffs.
Yeah, they probably won't. But I will say this only because I just want to bring it up. I remember quoting at the beginning of the year. Magnum said JJ McCarthy is the first white guy with aura. I need you to retract that statement right now. That? Yes, you did. I was gonna say. I remember you saying something along those lines, though.
I can't even. I don't even remember, man. I don't.
But. All this is
I think all that aura died when he called himself 9. Unfortunately,
yeah.
I think
beware of my alter ego. The second he started calling himself 9, I'm like, I'm out. I'm selling all my JJ McCarthy stock.
Do you want to know the most damning? You want to know the most damning stat line? In every game JJ McCarthy has played, he's thrown a pick.
Ironic, considering that there's another number 9 in the NFL that's a potential MVP front runner right now.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm glad you mentioned that because JJ is supposed to be a game manager, and the thing that game managers aren't supposed to do is turn the ball over. And you know what JJ McCarthy's doing best? Turning the ball over.
10 interceptions in 6 starts. That is not a good pace.
Yeah, and you want to know something? I could give him a lot of defense and everything, but people gave Cam Ward a lot of shit. Cam Ward looked better in like 4 games than JJ McCarthy had.
The thing is that nothing has changed about this about the Vikings team like from last year. The only difference is the quarterback. And Sam Darnold did well with it. Sam Darnold did well with this team. Josh Dobbs did well with this team. Carson Wentz did fine for a good bit. Why can't JJ figure this out? Why can't
I know this? Here's
maybe
the thing:
the
O-line has definitely taken a step back, and there's no denying that. But that even with the O-line taking a step back, it does not excuse how bad JJ's looked so far. Because you look at games, you look at that second half against the Packers. It is just. It's horrible to watch. It's funny to watch if you're, wanting to laugh at it. But if you're wanting to see a quarterback do well, that is agony. That is absolute agony to watch out there. I would want to imagine what's going through Kevin O'Connell's brain whenever he sees JJ McCarthy throw an interception. I'd like to imagine what is going on in his brain because it is probably not a pretty sight.
I think another damning stat line is that Justin Jefferson with JJ McCarthy under center has not had a 100-yard game. Justin Jefferson, he's making Justin Jefferson look normal, just an average guy. Like
Jordan Addison
That
had
no
a
one
goose
understands.
egg.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. I'm looking at the 2026 quarterback free agents in hopes to see, maybe Kevin O'Connell can pick up some guy and he'll fix them. Guys, you think that the Vikings are going to make a very compelling offer for Daniel Jones?
Ooh, I was gonna say maybe they pick up Daniel Jones again to have some competition.
Oh no, the worst one, the worst one would be fucking them signing Mitch Trubisky to try to make Mitch work.
Oh God!
I think the most damning part about I think the most damning part about this is that Jordan Love didn't actually do that much today. 14 of 21, 139 yards, and it was still a blowout because McCarthy was just that much of a liability.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Packers offense needed it's been a struggle for the Packers offense as of late. And I don't know how I really don't know what's exactly going on with that right now. It's just LaFleur losing his touch at this point.
I don't think he's losing his touch. I just think we're seeing the ceiling of Jordan Love. Again, I think Jordan Love's a good quarterback. Is he a great quarterback? Tug on my collar. We'll see next week. That's always going to be my answer with him.
He's a mystery box. That's the thing. And I feel like a lot of quarterbacks are like that. But when you pay Jordan Love that much, you want to see some more consistency. You want to.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. By the way, we're gonna we'll keep going with the NFL, but I just want to quickly say this: the college football playoff rankings officially dropped, and guess who's ranked?
Who?
SMU.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Where's the fucking soundboard?
Hell no, man. What the fuck?
Number 21. They're ranked ahead of Tulane.
Tulane?
Power conference diff. That's all I gotta say.
I hate these dorks who vote.
It's a power conference diff as much as if you want to get in there, you gotta be in a power conference.
Well,
I feel like the American at this point should be part of should be the new Power 5 in that point.
They should be the new Pac-12. The Americans, the new Pac-12.
They have potential. They got I think what they got to do is they got to find a way to retain the talent and the coaching, because if it's something where really good recruits ball out for 1 or 2 years and then they just transfer to a bigger school, then you're gonna see it's gonna be really hard to have sustained success at this level. Don't get me wrong. I want the American to be that to jump into the power rankings, because I think the American has been it's not just where we've had 2 or 3 1 or 2 competitive teams. There's been 5. This has been
on that note,
phenomenal.
It's been phenomenal, but on that note, because you said about retaining coaches and talent, yeah, funny you say that, because just today, North Texas's head coach is going to be heading to Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm going to be taking the quarterback too.
I hate to be that guy. I really do, because I really want there to be a Power 5 and a group of 5, but it's going to be a challenge for universities that are at the G6 level to have sustained success. The only one that's been sustaining its success is, unironically, it's James Madison. That's had really good sustained success over these years, and it's these coaches that are in the American, they're just waiting to get an opportunity at the Power 4 level, and there's a lot of vacancies that are available.
I think years later, I think that we'll see some more consistency, considering that there's 5 conference winning spots in the playoffs.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
I feel like
you are absolutely right, which is why I said the most consistent school has been, I feel like it's been James Madison. James Madison has been fairly entertaining ever since they made the jump to the FBS level. And we'll see more. We'll see more because I think especially when you have that 5 spot, you're gonna have more people pay attention to the G6 than usually would pay attention. Because I think especially with the FBS championship where it was just 2 and then you went to the 4 playoff 14 format, nobody was really giving the G5 a look because they're not contending for a playoff spots. Why should they care? The only team that people were really cheering on was when Cincinnati was back. Cincinnati way back when. So I do want to see good stuff coming from the G6. I think with the transfer portal and everything, there's gonna be more it's gonna be more competitive than it normally is because playing time equals I will go there now.
Well, back on topic to the NFL. Let's get to our other 12 o'clock slate of NFL games. Jets Ravens. This game was very concerning for the Ravens, and they won by double digits.
I just don't know what to think of the AFC North at this point. I just don't. Don't.
It's a conference that exists. Every game they play is a game that exists. They won by you don't have to blow somebody out every single week. Sometimes you can just have a dominating 2 possession win and that'll be all.
The thing is, they weren't really dominating. The Jets were in it throughout most of the game.
Close. The Jets kept it close. I mean,
yeah.
I think it's very clear to say though. Yeah, Lamar is not 100%. I think that's very obvious. He is not 100% right now.
Yeah. He didn't even run that much. Only 7 carries for 11 yards. Most of the time, he was just scrambling just to get out of bounds. It's weird. The only other thing that I will say, Derrick Henry really is trying his best to reclaim his crown because these last couple of games, he's slowly starting to pick up the steam again. Other than that, I don't know. Next. All right, let's get to,
I love it.
Up next, we'll talk about a one-score game that felt way different. That did not really feel entirely like a one-score game. Patriots Bengals. Again, the Patriots are winning football games. But I feel like they're very weird about it. Like, it feels like they want to, but not everything is clicking. Like, obviously, I know they lost their offensive lineman, and, like, that offensive line is terrible. So I get that. But something just... I don't know, man. This team's good, but I'm waiting for the next level, and I'm not really feeling it click. Like, I saw it throughout moments in the Tampa Bay game, but then I look at this game, and I'm just like... I don't know. I think if Joe Burrow is healthy, they win.
I don't think they're hitting the next level because I don't think that is what I don't think that's what this Patriots team is meant to do at this time. But I do think that obviously you would have preferred to have won by more, but at the same time, that bad start kind of really put them in a hole. And granted, they did climb out of that hole pretty quickly. To their credit, they got out of that very quickly. It's just, you'll take what you can take. I think the real thing is it's more just, for as much shit as the Bengals defense has rightfully gotten all season, they've actually played some pretty solid games these past 2 games. They've actually played kind of solid since the disaster against Chicago. So I can give credit to that. And the Patriots really weren't able to get the run going, and I know the Bengals stopped them on a 4th and goal at the 1, which apparently it looked like it was an RPO, and Drake May handed the ball off, and it didn't work. That happens. So yeah, this just felt like one of those games where you would want New England to play better, but at the end of the day, they won. They did what they had to do.
Yeah, just like I said, it's just weird. I will give credit to. I will say this though. We should talk about Joe Burrow. He's gonna die. Like he's just gonna die.
Hey man, like listen, man. I get what you. I get it, man. You wanna salvage whatever you can for this season, but like I just don't see a point at this. I just don't see a point of you starting. You know, like I don't see a point where you need to be here at this point. I don't.
The thing is, if the Ravens didn't look like shit against the Jets, and if the Steelers didn't be the Steelers, I would be totally on it. But unfortunately, with how just insanely dog shit the AFC North is, the Bengals are very much still somehow not out of the equation. Obviously, they need a fuck ton of things to happen, but they play the Ravens twice to end the year, and it's like, if they sweep the Ravens, they just have to beat the Bills, because their other two opponents are the Dolphins and Cardinals. Not saying that this would be easy, but the saddest thing is, there's the Bengals have a non-0% chance of winning this division. And that just feels kind of odd. I feel like once the season's over, though, fucking kick Burrow to the curb for the rest of the season and just run with Flacco. Make sure that he doesn't sustain any more injuries. But other than that, the game happened. Well, this is very odd because I feel like these next 4 games are very impactful. Luke, would you mind talking about the Seahawks and Titans first?
Yeah, this game should have been a blowout. They should have destroyed them. They didn't destroy them. And there are consequences to that. Not really. They almost fucking lost this game. That onside kick was, the fact that it was almost recovered by the Titans was the most damning thing on the planet. In all honesty, this is a game to me where, I mean, Coach said it best. This game looks super ugly. I know how ugly this game looks, guys. This game looks so ugly. It doesn't matter. We came out there. We got the dub. I'm like, cool. I'm happy we got the dub. But, honestly, can we not do that?
If I just may real quick, it's not like the Titans have been playing bad football these last couple of weeks. Obviously, that's not what you want to hear and everything, but they kept it close against the Chargers, who are a playoff team, the Texans, who are probably who are in the playoffs conversation, and the Seahawks. I 100% agree. Seattle's defense has to lay on the pressure more and make sure that this doesn't turn into a one-score game. But we do have to give credit where it's due. Cam Ward had his best game as a pro.
He did. But, like, this is on another week where, you know, it's what I said last week. I just want a clean game of football, you know? That's all I want. I'm not asking for the universe. Just give me a clean game of football. Keep it clean. They didn't, right? We've got more moments where everything is really inconsistent. You're looking at a time where, I said it last week, there was, I believe, an opportunity where they had a chance to end it, to really, again, put this game truly out of range. They didn't. And I don't, especially when you're coming up with this stretch, I mean, you really can't sleep on Minnesota. You've got the Colts, you got the Rams, and you got the Niners, man. And you got the Falcons, like, teams that, if you play that sloppy, like you did versus the Titans, they're gonna pounce on you quickly, and it could be where, sure, they're 8-3 right now, but the banana peel is clearly in front of you. You gotta make adjustments.
Agreed. I think the biggest test for the Seahawks team will be, personally, if they could just get to 11 wins, that'd be fine enough. I think the biggest thing about this team, don't you obviously try to push for the division, but you should just make the dance. And I'm going to bring this up for the Niners because I'm gonna cast the big shade, the spooky thing. I have found something that I am dubbing the Doomsday scenario, and I'll get that when we talk about the Niners. And you guys are going to hate this and dread it because it's very possible. But in the meantime, I still think it should be fair. Give the flowers to Cam Ward, though. Phenomenal game from him. You know, kept it clean, didn't really cause any turnovers. You know, he was getting sacked, but you know, he made plays when he had to, and he got his team into a position to potentially get the ball back and win the game. And that's something that you like to see from a guy who just had to deal with Brian Callahan.
Yeah, Ward's starting to get better and better with every passing week. He's not great, but he is starting. But I don't expect him to be great in the situation he's in.
Agreed. And the best part too, this is going to be his best stretch for a while because you want to know something odd that I noticed? The Titans were home the entirety of November. They played nothing but home games all of November, and that rarely ever happens. But, you know, good for Tennessee. Glad they're doing well. Seattle, get your shit together. Now, let's get to the funny game. Guys, how many teams do you think Jameis Winston is wide receiver 1 on? Because for me, it's got to at least be the Packers, right?
This is another case of Shane Bowen blowing a lead. The Giants could easily be like maybe have 4 wins, 5 wins, 6-win team even. But no, they're 2-10 because Shane Bowen's defenses can't hold leads.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even big ones.
The craziest thing too.
Big Shot was finally fired. I'm surprised he wasn't fired after the Denver game.
Surprised he wasn't fired with Dable.
I'm surprised he wasn't fired out of a cannon. The funniest part too, the Lions didn't even need to use David Montgomery that game. Jahmyr Gibbs, he was killing people. He was killing people on that football field.
I was like that game was way too close. That game should not have been as close as it was.
It's the best game by a Lions running back since Barry Sanders himself. The great one. I checked. His 219 rushing yards is 3rd most all time, and he has become the only other Lion other than Sanders to have a 200-yard rushing game in their history.
Yeah, it's Jahmyr Gibbs.
By the way, this game's completely different if the Giants don't go for 2. I mean, if the Giants don't go for the touchdown. Granted, well, you can say that about a ton of things, and it's very iffy and shit. But with how the defense played on the very last play, ironically enough, having the conservativeness of Brian Dable probably wins them this game.
I don't know. I'm not.
Well,
even in that
honestly,
situation,
I won't even
I'm
know
not
because,
trusting
again,
that Giants
it's a
defense.
Shane
I'm
Bowen
not
defense.
trusting it.
They'd somehow botch it.
Fair enough.
Shane Bowen has been the main cog in why. Honestly, why hasn't this team been shown any improvement at all?
I will say this. Wan'Dale Robinson and Malik Neighbors is a fantastic 1-2 punch. I say that because Malik Neighbors isn't playing, and filling in for his place, Wan'Dale Robinson has done phenomenal for. honestly one of the better unspoken wide receivers in the NFL currently. He's actually 9th in receiving yards this year. But I'm not gonna fault Detroit for winning a close game at home because Giants are tough. They are a tough team. But I will say this. Detroit is very beatable. They're not immortal. Turns out when you're not being able to blow out teams at the start of the year.
Yeah, Goff's not doing great. He is taking a step back in these last couple of weeks.
I mean, I will say this: that interception was completely on Amon-Ra. He's got to fucking catch that.
Like, but also like at the same time, like, you think there's like growing pains with now that Dan Campbell's now calling the shots now, like doing play calling.
Probably a bit of growing pains. I mean, granted, the offense. I feel like I get why obviously you're still gonna go through it because you gotta go through those growing pains. But I mean, yeah, it's just like I just remember that drive the Lions were driving and then Goff throws. Just a little off, but Amon-Ra got the chance to catch it, and he just completely fucked it up. So, yeah. But thankfully for them, they got Jahmyr Gibbs, so none of it matters.
But there's also the fact that I think Laporta's done for the season. One of their main weapons.
Yeah.
I do want to sit here and say this, though. People give a lot of credit to this Lions defense. I'm not going to lie. They're not a bad squad, but they're not amazing. Like, this isn't like one of the best defenses in the NFL.
They were completely wrecked.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Lions don't really have that wow factor that they did a few weeks ago. They're not. I think people are starting to figure out how to stop them, and now it's Campbell's job to adjust.
Again. He's a great vibes guy, but we're gonna see him try to overcome all the pressure because you're now in a Super Bowl window. If you don't at least do something this year, there's gonna be some eyes on you. Granted, they'll be the same eyes as someone like fucking Kyle Shanahan, but again, we will wait and see. Well, normally I would save Bear stuff for last, but considering the impact of the other game, I feel like it's fair to get Bear Steelers out of the way first. So I will just say this. Terrible first half from Caleb Williams, phenomenal second half from Caleb Williams. Once again, this Bears team is finding ways to win games. They win games, and this week, it was the defense that ended up being the main reason we won, not the offense. As in, the game-winning drive.
That kind of says a lot about their head coach. When was the last time the Bears had an all-rounder kind of coach who specializes in one thing but is also rather solid at the other part? Because Ben Johnson is an offensive mind, but his defenses are getting better every so throughout the year. So I think a lot of that was the last time the Bears had a coach that could be rounded like this.
Like Lovie Smith, I don't know. Lovie.
No, I agree. I will say this: a lot of the credit I will say goes to the coaching staff that Ben Johnson has got. Dennis Allen, despite his flaws, has found some way to make this Bears team not be bottom 3 in sacks.
It really is impressive. The fact that in the defensive rankings they are very low, but the fact that there are 3 Bears leading the league in takeaways is also very impressive. It really just shows the resilience that this team has. And I think a lot of that has to do with the coaching. Ben Johnson has turned the culture around on this team. This is not
again, they've been preaching it. It's not the same old
The
thing.
Bears are now 8-1 after an 0-2 start.
It is after 0-2, they could have just turtled back in the shell and die. But no, Ben Johnson genuinely finds a way for this team to win, and that's what the Bears need. The Bears just need a coach to find a way to win. Because like Eberflus last year, he made all the wrong decisions in basically every game that costed any chance of success. But they're like Ben Johnson is finally giving them like actual hope, like an actual chance to do something.
Yeah,
and we haven't had that in a long time. Like
Bears finally have the guy that is going to change the culture and change the face of the organization, and it's about time that happened.
No. Speaking of which, though, Mike Tomlin, like I feel like he's getting very, very, very stale now.
He has been. I mean, I heard a report earlier that apparently, and I don't know how true this is. This might just be a load of bullshit. But there's a report going around that there is apparently a long tenured head coach for their respective team that would be interested in a change of scenery this offseason.
Again, my thing is with Tomlin, and they called it out during the broadcast. They just straight up said Mike Tomlin doesn't like going for it on fourth downs. That's all I needed to hear about why Mike Tomlin just isn't going to work in this NFL age anymore.
The standard is the standard, but the standard is moving. The standard is like I don't know.
Took over, and now they realize, wait, we can go for it on fourth down. And
ironically enough, the funniest part is they say they don't go for it on fourth down, and then immediately the play after they score a touch, they basically get into field goal range because that was the kind of game well played.
That was the best play the Steelers had on offense, because Mason Rudolph, despite like his completion percentage, like he mainly just threw like checkdowns and screens. Like, I don't know how much it would have changed with Rodgers, but Mason Rudolph didn't really give them a chance to like make any explosive plays out there.
Right. Oh, another thing that I will say about that game too, that game showed me even when the Bears' run game isn't going to get going, because their run game was just not going at all, they showed me that they will still find ways to win despite it. And that's something that you just love to see. The worst play...
Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, the worst play that happened on the day was because TJ Watt got like the 30 billion IQ play, and somehow Caleb Williams' arm got trapped, and he just...
That was
the fucking ball.
That was the only sack of the game, by the way. That was the only sack of the game, like that the Steelers had. Like the defense has not been like showing up, which when you're the highest paid defense in the NFL, you got to do that. But
very strong showing from Ozzy though.
Yeah,
it's true.
It really just, like, they have the next man up mentality, because like there was no starting linebackers at all for the Bears this game. Like we were down to like 4-string players, man. Like it was dire. But
Marco Jackson and Eamon Ogbonniga were the starting linebackers. And you want to know the funniest part? They combined together for 29 tackles.
Yeah, like this team just like...
squad players. We had practice squad players on this defense, and we only gave up 21 points.
And I think that just shows like how Ben Johnson just gets the best out of these players. And I'm very glad that Ben Johnson's on my team. I'm very glad.
Yes, me too. Honestly, and I will say this, currently, my favorite player on this defense is Nashawn Wright. Because you want to know something? This guy was a complete fucking nobody. He was a guy that fizzled out and was bouncing around from practice squad to practice squad. He was a guy who just could just never get a chance. You want to know what he does when one of the best cornerbacks are down in the NFL? You want to know what he does? He's leading the NFL in picks. He's also got two fumble recoveries too.
Yeah, I think it just shows like the amount of like stuff that Al Harris and Dennis Allen has been doing with this defense. like they've been like because like this defense has been so like it has been like a constant like it's been a constant like revolving door of injuries for this team, especially on defense, and they've worked with what they can, and the defense and the offense has actually put up like you know picked up the slack for that. Like for the longest time, like the Bears, like it has been years since the Bears were an offense first team. Like that never happens.
Also, not to mention too, I haven't seen a Bears team that when the defense is slacking, the offense picks it up, and when the offense is slacking, the defense picks it up. It's always the other way around. It's just, I really can't give Ben Johnson enough of his flowers. The one thing I will say, I think after a while, I think despite Ryan Poles' flaws, I think we should give him a bit of a reprieve for the amount of players he's been able to bring on this team and being able to pay for cheap to be on this team. Other than that, the only thing I have to say, Montez Sweat is good, and god fucking damn it, I hate Nick McLeod.
Oh man, we got the Eagles on Friday.
Look, man, win or lose, I'm happy where we're at. Well, time for the big one. Time for narrative, guys. They proved us wrong. KC, why couldn't they just lay down and die? They could have laid down and died like everyone else.
We were so close to it. We were so close to it.
Listen, man, they do this.
Doesn't just die. It keeps coming back until you shoot it in the head.
The Colts made too many mistakes. Honestly, the Colts are lucky that this was even a game because the Chiefs were, because based on the stats, the Chiefs should have dominated this game, and that's been a major story of the Kansas City Chiefs season. They're being undone by their own mistakes, the exact opposite of last year. That Chiefs team, I still think, was a very shaky and a very mediocre team, carried out by high-end talent and an elite defense that limited.
This is the first time,
and opponents not taking advantage of Kansas City's multitude of mistakes.
This is the first time this season
it's a much better Chiefs team that is making far more mistakes, and it's being capitalized far more. It's very uncharacteristic of them to be this sloppy. They honestly should not be 6-5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I think the big problem for this game, for this year was that like the narratives are changing because they can't win one-score games. They just don't know how to close it out sometimes. Until today, this was their first. I mean, this week, I'm pretty sure was their first one win in a one-score game.
This was their first one-score win. Yeah, they were 0-5 previously.
Why do they gotta be back, dude?
They're not back. Let's calm down. Calm the fuck down.
You know who really benefits from this though? The Jaguars and Texans. Jacksonville's back in this race. The AFC South is not over.
True.
I still think we have a lot of football to go. Weirdly enough, it's so hard to say because like we've seen the script multiple times before, and we've seen how the Chiefs play it out. It feels like it's near impossible for me to call this team dead until there is an Kansas City Chiefs on NFL.com. Until that happens, I don't want to call them dead.
Listen, man, I just don't believe that they have like the same fight as they did for the past couple years.
No, that's the thing. They're better than they were last year, but yet they're just sloppier. They're much better when they don't make mistakes. They are much better than they were last year. The problem is that they're just making mistakes that they wouldn't really do in previous years.
On paper, they should be better than their record should be better, but like it's not. Like the execution is just not there as it was last year.
The execution just hasn't been same. And granted, you can argue that a certain other AFC West team may or may not have stolen that execution right from them, but as of right now, the Chiefs are in a very interesting position because they did beat the Colts. They needed to win that game because if they had not come back from that, the Chiefs right now would be 5-6, and they'd be in very serious trouble. But they're 6-5, and they're a game back of the Chargers, Jaguars, and the Bills. All three have victories over Chiefs.
Yeah, but also I don't know if Daniel Jones is the guy anymore. I don't know if Daniel Jones.
We still have time.
I'll give him more time.
Oh yeah, there is one more thing that should be mentioned about the Chiefs in this game.
What?
Jonathan Taylor did nothing.
Yeah.
16 carries, 58 yards.
I think that ends his MVP campaign. I think that.
Unfortunately, but probably. I mean, the Chiefs' defense went all out in making sure that he would not get anything good out there, and credit to the Chiefs' defense for doing that. But yeah, the Colts were not going to win with Jonathan Taylor only getting 58 rushing yards.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just, man, the Colts are confusing. The Chiefs, they still have a rough stretch. I'm not gonna say that they have an easy game against Dallas because we saw. We'll get into No, we still have worse games to do. But we've seen how Dallas plays. They're not going to die. They're just not going to die and take it. But speaking of which, let's get into the 3 o'clock slate of games. Let's do the one that changed the least amount of narratives. Falcons Saints. Wow, you're telling me that. Wow, you're telling me that Tyler Shuck is okay. Tyler Shuck is decent, but also needs more help around him. Wow, it's like we knew that last week. Wow, you're saying that. Wow, you're saying Bijan Robin's pretty good. Who knows? You're saying that Kirk Cousins and Darnell Mooney have a decent connection. Who knows? You're saying Kirk Cousins had a good game. Well, no one really expected that, but like, you get what I mean.
It is the Saints, so it's not like he's gonna have a bad game. It just doesn't mean he's gonna have a good game.
I mean, yeah, I think the Falcons lead the all-time series between them and the Saints again.
Yep. Well, other than that, not much narrative change other than David Sills got a touchdown. That's all. Okay, guys, who's ready to talk about your favorite quarterback of all time? Who's ready to talk about the favorite quarterback of all time? Are you ready, Nick? Are you ready to talk about your favorite quarterback?
Yes, I am ready. I'm ready to talk about the game that I got to watch, and we got to see Chip Kelly get publicly executed afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Katie Scholl's rest home isn't good. I'm stunned.
Mm-hmm. Wait, Nick, who's your favorite quarterback?
Who is my favorite? Is it Geno Smith dying on the field? Is it Kenny Pickett, or is it Aiden O'Connell coming off the injured list?
No. It's a quarterback that plays for an orange team.
Orange team. Well, Kenny Pickett used to play for an orange team.
No. Think harder. Think harder. He is a recent quarterback who's played within the first couple of years. So like he's only played like a year or two.
A year or two. Oh, I know. Dylan Gabriel.
Guys.
Yeah, let's just cut to the chase, man.
Let's just cut to it. This was horrible. This was fucking horrible. I've gotten to watch a lot of Raiders games ever since the move to Vegas was set into motion, and of all the games, this may have been the most embarrassing loss they have ever had, because that was fucking bad. That was fucking atrocious. I
That
mean,
was pathetic.
like you go against the Browns, which coming off a game where the Browns had a quarterback that had no first team reps, and was also probably the most talked about quarterback to ever get taken in the 5th round. You're going up against that. You're going up against Mr. Shadur Sanders. And already, in the first quarter, it is 14-0 Cleveland. And not because of anything Shadur did, but because the Browns got 2 touchdowns from the Wildcat formation. The Wildcat formation in the year of our Lord 2025, and the Browns got 2 touchdowns from it. And it just felt like from there, the Raiders could not do a damn thing about this defense, which this was a defense that got the Geno Smith 10 sacks.
Which is only the second time the Browns have ever recorded 10 sacks in a game. The first time since the 80s.
Since the 80s. Myles Garrett had 3 sacks, and he's now at 18 sacks on his way to likely breaking the all-time season record.
Do you remember week one against the Patriots? Geno Smith was a very big wild card. He had his very terrible picks, but he also had some legitimately great throws and touchdown passes. It was a shaky start, but that led to a very good win for the Raiders to start the season. This is the one and only time the Raiders have played a good game in the quarterback position. Week 1.
One and only time. And it came in week 1, and it's just like I said about how embarrassing, how pathetic of a loss this was. It's like, I saw the loss they had the Andy Dalton and the Panthers last year where they got blown out. I saw the loss they had to Tyson Bagent and the Bears, which I was very happy to see that one actually happen. There's been so many bad losses, though, that this Raiders team has had, and so many different coaches, and yet this might be the most pathetic and most embarrassing one they've had to date, because it's just, it was fucking horrible. And like, I will say this, for the love of God, please bench Geno Smith. Like, he has been terrible. He's been terrible, but like, you are going to get this man killed if you keep him out here any longer. He is going to die on the field from how many sacks he is having to take. And granted, there are some sacks that are his fault, but this O-line, this Raiders O-line is the worst O-line since the Bears of last season. It is bad. Everything about this offense is bad. Like, Brock Bowers and Ashton Jeanty are going to have their growth. Their growth is going to hurt this year because they are being coached by washed up old men.
Wait, Nick, you're saying that old men aren't the right way to lead a group of people?
I think we should
people over 70-year-olds, that's for sure.
I think we should address the perfect timing shaped elephant in the room. I think we should.
The funny thing is, Shadur didn't even have a better game than Geno Smith. Like, he had a check down touchdown to Dylan Sampson, that where he went like 50 yards to the house.
Hey, a Justin Fields touchdown.
Yeah, the sad thing is, though, he made less mistakes than Geno did, and that's sad.
Yeah, and now he's got the starting job now for the Browns. So,
but I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Whether or not you like or hate us Shadur Sanders or Dylan Gabriel, my personal opinion is that they are just a cog in what is the bigger problem for the Browns, and that is that Jimmy Haslam is allowing this culture to permeate for years on end. We already know how notorious the Baker Mayfield stuff was. But it wasn't just the trade that everyone's gonna remember, but also how immature Baker Mayfield was back in the day, and how nobody was able to hone it in. until
They need
he
an
left.
adult. They needed
Unless he
an
moved-
adult at QB.
Yeah, until he moved on to Carolina, and then later on Los Angeles, and then finally figuring things out at Tampa Bay.
I mean, my thing with the Cleveland Browns is, I mean, there's a bunch of things you can say about this team and what's been going on in the past few years. This year's felt like this year's just a punt year, and it feels like this is just something that Cleveland just shouldn't be doing. But this is something that the Cleveland Browns just have always been doing. They've been punting away season after season after season after season, purely because they don't have a quarterback. And the way how I see things are, especially with this current crop of quarterbacks, they're probably going to be in the position where you're going to have Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel right now fighting it out for who's starting next year, because there's no better option. So it's fuck it. We're going to punt the year away and wait till we get a franchise QB, because it's sure as shit's not going to be Dylan. Unless Shedeur pulls off a fucking Drew Lock style play in these next 6 weeks. I doubt it, but it's, not unheard of. I think this is where Cleveland has been. You're spinning the tires of futility because you have an owner that has allowed it to happen. You got people who I think are genuinely trying to fix it, but what they're trying to find is just not working.
The Browns are basically like this. It's a punt year for the offense. The defense is having to carry whatever they can carry. That is the Browns right now. Because this defense, this is a playoff caliber defense easily. Unfortunately, the offense is a practice squad offense pretty much. Like it's not gonna get you outside of it's not gonna win you games with how bad the offense has been, no matter how great your defense is. But I want to get back to the Raiders, because there is another elephant in the room, that being that Chip Kelly has been fired.
You mean the gimmick coordinator who only worked in college?
Yes. The highest paid offensive coordinator in the league, by the way.
Yeah, I think it's time for. I think we have a real big issue with people trusting college coordinators to be extremely good in the NFL. Now, don't get me wrong, it works sometimes. Pete Carroll is one of the most defining examples, but other times it doesn't work. Chip Kelly has already shown that he cannot run an offense. He had that revolutionary Eagles offense in 2013, but that was solved within seconds the following year, because it was a gimmick offense at the end of the day. It wasn't consistent. It was basically the offensive version of the Grit Blitz.
Yeah.
So they tried it again, and it's even worse.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. No one's really wrong from it, but the thing with Chip Kelly is, if I'm you, dude, you could have had a cozy gig at UCLA. I really think it's cozy and comfy, and you know what? Guess who has an opening? UCLA!
And the crazy thing is, this is now the third straight year that the Raiders have fired an offensive coordinator. Third straight time it's happened mid-season, and that is just sad. It is also very funny, but you know what's not funny? If you're a Raiders fan and you're having to look at the last 20 years of head coaches for the Raiders, and in that time, in the past 20 years, only 2 head coaches for the Raiders have finished with a winning record. Jack Del Rio and Rich Bisaccia.
Jack Del
Rio. 2
Rio
in the last 20 years.
Well, technically, it's John Gruden too, because didn't he have a winning record?
Rich Bisaccia was the interim coach.
He was the interim coach. And to answer your question, no, John Gruden was 22-31 in his overall Raiders tenure. This was talking about.
I thought you were talking about by
tenure.
season. My bad.
Yeah, no, overall tenure. Yeah, but Yeah, and in that time, 14 quarterbacks, 0 playoff wins.
They've really only had one really good season ever since 2003, and that was 2016, I believe. And then even that one had an asterisk because David Carr got hurt. That's it. That's as good as it's been. They've been trying to light a fire that has been Dallas for like a decade plus, and it's just not going to work. They have not. The one time they did try to rebuild, I think that was way back in 2006. They ended up getting the worst draft boosts of all time. Well, maybe the second, maybe the worst, but they have not rebuilt ever since. It seems like they're scared to really do so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just one more point.
Maybe that might just be a reach, and I'll admit this might be the complete opposite of what I'm believing, but that's just what it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, and just one more point about about that list of coaches. The three longest tenured coaches when it comes to games coach in the last 20 years for the Raiders have been John Gruden, Jack Del Rio, and Tom Cable. Tom Cable.
What's wrong with Tom Cable, Nick?
Tommy the Cable guy.
True. Like, this is horrible. This is pain to look at.
Oh shit!
You think Guy Fieri would coach a better team?
Might as well try.
We're here in Allegiant Stadium, and
I'm here to coach the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, at least they get some killer food in the locker room.
True, put Gordon Ramsay on the coaching staff too. He's got connections to Vegas.
Oh, speaking of which, I'm not done with the Raiders yet. There is one more thing I have to bring up about the Raiders. This team drafted Ashton Genty to be ran on plays that have no chance of being gained on anything. What is the point of drafting a running back if he's going to be used for the purpose of gaining nothing?
Listen, man, listen, they're going for hype moments and aura. That's what the Raiders are about, okay? The Raiders, they just care about what gets people in seats, damn it. This is Vegas. They're a
shittier version of the Dallas Cowboys, essentially.
Exactly.
Actually, that makes a ton of sense.
The one thing I'll say about the Raiders is it feels like their drafting has been more drafting luxury, like spending high value picks on quote unquote luxury items rather than building a foundation. And that's like, I'm not saying Ginty and Brock Bowers are bad players per se.
Brock Bowers is excellent. They are really good players, but the issue is they are just not drafting right. They're not even drafting right. They're not developing right. They're not building around this stuff.
But I feel like there's no foundation that's being put into place here. And especially
how can you have a foundation though with like a 34-year-old journeyman quarterback?
Well, again, the start of the foundation is that you're building the trenches. The most important thing.
May I?
Yeah, you have the floor, Nick.
I was gonna say, because trenches are important. It's tougher to build trenches when I mentioned how offensive coordinators 3 straight years have gotten fired. The Raiders are on their 3rd GM in the past 3 seasons. You're not just having turmoil and constant rotation when it comes to the coaching staff. You're also having it with the front office, and the front office that drafted Ashton Genty is not the same front office that drafted Bowers. It is not the same front office that drafted Tyree Wilson. It is just a bunch of moving parts, and there is nothing cohesive here in terms of what the plan is, because the plan keeps getting thrown up into the air because we have a new GM every single season.
So yeah, there's kind of a point that's there. How are you supposed to have stability when you're having this much overturn? Like, the thing that the Raiders need to do is, hopefully with this current front office, is you're locked into these guys for the next 5 years, no matter what. Which unironically, I feel like it means you might have to be stuck with Pete Carroll for one more year, just to have that, just for stability's sakes.
Unless he retires. Unless he just
Yeah.
retires.
I'd rather he just retire, because if he retires, that means there's somebody that's there that can take over. But until you
but it might just be his son taking over.
Well, yeah, about that. Actually, that's a good point. Actually, that is a very good point. Because, granted, Pete Carroll seemed very ecstatic to fire Chip Kelly. Because when asked about the offense, he said, "Don't worry, something good's about to happen." But there is a lot of, and this is something I will get to when I have to talk about the Raiders in a video one of these days. There's a lot of nepotism on this team, and that probably doesn't help things.
Oh my god, we have the Nepotism Bowl. Holy shit. That's what the game should have been called. The Nepo Bowl. Fuck. Now I'm angry that we didn't call it.
A team that is stuck in the past, and a team that enables all the drama in the world.
God. How can you not be romantic about bad football? Well,
at this point you might as well you might as well put Deshaun Kaiser back in center. Hey, it wouldn't be much
Hey, he couldn't be that much worse than fucking Deshaun Watson.
Where is he now? Where is Deshaun Kaiser now?
He's probably selling used cars somewhere. And I hope he's having a good time.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, now that the Raiders talk is over, let's talk about how Jacoby Brissett is just slinging it, and, he's still losing football games. So, guys, you want to know how many balls Jacoby Brissett...
It is time to fire Jonathan Gannon.
Yep.
True.
He is... This coaching staff is the reason for this. They have, I think they've led in the fourth quarter 5 times, and they have and they are 0-5. Wait, no. They have lost 5 games when they are leading in the fourth quarter. And that's a guess. It could be even more than that. They can't finish off games. They can't finish off leads. They just constantly implode at the last moment. They should have a winning record. They could be leading the division. Well, maybe not.
Not the division, but
they should at least be in a position to compete for the playoffs. But
if I may real quick, Noah, I just wanted to say this real quick. They've pretty much given up on trying to make this offense work, because Jacoby Brissett has not had a game where he's thrown under 30 under 30 passes. In fact, the lowest amount of passes he has thrown so far this season was against Dallas, where he didn't really have to, and he still threw 31 passes. Over the last 2 games, Jacoby Brissett has thrown over 106 balls.
Yeah.
And I think
by the way, I checked what you said, Noah. That is true. It is 5.
Yeah. All right. I think it's also time to talk about the big cardinal in the room. If Jacoby Brissett is playing like this, I think it's pretty much an indictment that Kyler Murray is a lost cause.
Oh. Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily call it big. I wouldn't necessarily call it.
I mean, the fact that Kyler Murray is a first overall pick, I get it. It's just, dude, how do you have that much talent in the world and you would legitimately have fun doing what you like, man? But this is insanely sad. How the fuck does Kyler Murray go from one of the highest touted QB prospects to a guy who looks like he would probably be better on a team like the fucking Falcons?
He plays Call of Duty and they leaked the study clause because Kyler Murray just wants to throw balls, fuck bitches, and play COD.
Hey, good for him. If that's what he wants to do, go ahead. You shouldn't have to. You should have been clear about that though when you first started, because otherwise you're just being an asshole. Like, again, Kyler is just so baffling because the talent was there. I still think he could have worked, but
yeah, he just had to keep.
The
that
more that I
clause
think
in
about
there.
it, the more I'm like, maybe Cliff Kingsbury was in fact the worst coach Kyler Murray could have gotten. Because when you think about Cliff Kingsbury, he really doesn't feel like a coach who would it feels like he's the kind of guy who would like stand that kind of stuff. Like, hey man, I don't care whatever the hell you do as long as you just win us football games. Like Cliff Kingsbury seems like, yeah, he seems like a guy that just lets his fucking players do whatever the hell they want. And as a coach, you have to like put your foot down and be like, you're going to help us win football games or you're not going to play. And it really feels like Kyler has been enabled in that, if that makes sense. Like, he's been enabled.
I definitely see it.
It's just... Kyler, it's just sad. It's incredibly sad. Do what you like, man, but don't put people's jobs on the line because of it.
Yeah, I know the Jaguars.
He plays.
Yeah, I know the Jaguars won, and granted, yeah, they did win, but I kind of want to talk about Trevor Lawrence because that was not great.
Yeah, no, he's got issues.
Yeah, I feel like the ceiling. He should, because he should be like a Peyton Manning by now. But I'm still waiting for that Peyton Manning. I saw it once, and then what the fuck happened? Where's my fucking Peyton Manning?
He's feeling a lot more. And if he keeps throwing these interceptions, the jokes are only going to pester. But he feels a lot more like a Jameis Winston, and that's not great.
That's unfair to Jameis Winston. At least he brings good vibes.
No, Thirsty Trevor picks from Draw Play Dave. He's got the moments. He's got the hair for it.
Still, it's just kind of like Trevor feels like he feels sad. Like he just I don't know the best way to describe it. He's just one of those guys who feels sad.
3 different
head when you just look at him.
3 different.
I feel like Trevor Lawrence
coaches.
just has not fully recovered from year 1 Meyer.
Yeah, and then year 3.
I think he needs a change. He needs a change.
He needs to be on a different team, and because the sad thing is about the Jaguars is this is why the Jaguars are a bottom, always will be a bottom organization, because you have had one of the gifts. This is somebody who right now should have been year 2 Trevor Lawrence was where the hell's year 2 Trevor Lawrence, and where's the guy that I'm supposed to see that's supposed to take the step up from year 2 Trevor Lawrence? I want to know where the hell that is. There's no, because he's somebody that was at Clemson that was this gem, someone who was phenomenal to see. Someone who's dominant, made the CFP every single year when it was 4 teams. I want to know where the hell that is, because if the answer is literally, bro, just if you're a quarterback, getting drafted to Jacksonville is a death sentence, then every quarterback from here on out should be what would I rather do? Ruin my career by going to Jacksonville, or refusing to sign anywhere but Jacksonville? No, I don't get it, because this is the guy that's supposed to be the next Peyton Manning, and I've still yet to see Peyton Manning, and it's year 4.
Yeah, and I emphasize on saying that Trevor, unless he can prove otherwise, needs a change of scenery, because from what I've seen with the Jaguars under Liam Cohen, I don't think this is coaching. This is not coaching anymore. It's Trevor's got issues in Jacksonville, and it feels like he needs a change of scenery because, yeah, there's injuries. The guy is I know there's injuries on the receiving front to guys like Thomas and Hunter, and yeah, not everything's going to be perfect with a first-year head coach, but it really feels like the Jaguars are having to win their games in spite of Trevor Lawrence at times. And granted, Trevor has made up for it at times because he has been clutch when needed for a good amount of games this year. But at some point, it just feels like, yeah, there's something wrong with Trevor, and it feels like at some point it's not just going to be the coaching anymore. It's a problem where he needs to just get a change. He needs a change because this is just whatever it is in Jacksonville, it's not working with him.
Yeah, and like again, it's just a case of like why like again, I will sit here and say this. He was dealt a very fucking bad hand because no one's going to be able to survive a year with Urban Meyer. Legitimately, I will sit here and defend him on that. Like, no one's going to survive that. But you have to show something more than just once. Because outside of the playoff run that he had in, was it 2020 where they played the Chargers?
2022.
2022? Gotcha. Like, he has just been...
and even that's got an asterisk because that was Brandon Staley's year out game.
Right. It's just
he was terrible in the first half in that game too. 4 interceptions, I believe.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and Josco, I see your point. I agree with that actually. I see the comparison you're making because yeah, I do get some Alex Smith vibes from Trevor Lawrence right now. I get some of those vibes.
Granted, I don't think being Alex Smith is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Oh no,
it's not a bad thing. It's just for a first overall pick, I see the comparison.
Yeah, it's just again, it's just another case of just why the quarterback's not being able to take the next step. I feel like that's just a bigger issue in the NFL. And it's not just a Trevor thing. I think a lot of it is just some quarterbacks don't have the sauce to get up to the next level in the NFL.
I think the point that I think we're trying to get at is we expect a quarterback to be Peyton Manning, and what we're getting is average.
And you can be an average quarterback and make a living in the NFL.
Oh
it's
yeah,
not
you
the
can
issue.
totally be fine. But when the expectations are the next Peyton Manning and we're getting what we're getting, yeah, it's not. It's hard to describe, and it's almost embarrassing. More even embarrassing to see. I hope he figures it out, but until then, yeah.
Well,
sucks to suck.
Well, guys, I have a better way to improve this depressing mood we're in. Who here likes to laugh at the Eagles? Raise your hand.
Ooh, me, my favorite.
Well, guys, the Eagles, they blew a lead. You want to know how big the lead was? It wasn't just one score.
Oh, it was 9 plus 10!
Screw you, I was saying that.
Yes, the Eagles blew a 21-point lead to the fucking Cowboys.
Eagles,
and they did not score... the Eagles blew a 21-point lead to the Cowboys. Yeah, that's what I said.
Dak owns them.
You stupid?
Yeah, not until 4.
Dak owns them. I don't know what else to say, man. Dak.
I mean, respect to Dak, man. I mean, despite everything that's happened this year for the Cowboys, he's been balling the fuck out. Whether it's with George Pickens or CeeDee Lamb, or whether if it's with neither of them, he's been showing up and he's been doing his best. And, man, if Dak was on literally any other team in the NFL, he would be getting MVP conversations. Unfortunately, he plays for the Cowboys, so... Sorry, Dak. But, yeah, let's laugh at the Eagles. Yikes. 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 Yikes.
There's only so much your defense can do until they get tired out from having to carry the offense bullshit for an entire half.
Yeah, it's just weird because like nothing is cohesive. Nothing is working like right now. Like everything's just out of sorts. Like
the run game isn't. Saquon Barkley's had his worst year.
I don't remember
so far.
I don't remember who said it. I think it was you, Noah. Like you said, like they're not a team. They're just an assortment of players. They're just an assortment.
They're an assortment of talent that's not meshing well.
Yeah, Noah said it in the group
We still have no
chat.
idea what the fuck is going on with AJ Brown. Saquon has taken a step back this year. It was like it's like he's not like he has been not doing too hot, especially since he's had a bunch of negative yard gains on this season. Like sometimes like it's just hard for him to get anything. It's like everything's just so out of sorts. Like I don't know what other than the tush push. Like I don't know what the identity of the Eagles are. You know?
They won a Super Bowl. Legitimately, it's kind of like how the Rams were when they won the Super Bowl. Like they were good still, but they were just kind of coasting off the fact that hey, we won a Super Bowl, so you can't talk shit. Little do they know, you can still talk shit. Because the fact of the matter is, we could just call you one-season wonders. But
I don't even think about calling them one-season wonders, because they did make the Super Bowl versus Kansas City, and then both their coordinators were...
I just mean that more generally, not like specifics, you know?
I think he more just means it's like hater talk and all that.
What I wonder about the Eagles, because we remember when the Eagles beat the Patriots way back when. The season afterwards, the attitude of the team just shifted. It was less about, practice is supposed to be having fun. We're going to have fun now, when football realistically is anything but it's hard. It's a grind. It is 24/7 pedal to the metal, and it's just maybe just the winning drive of the Eagles has been sapped once again, and what we're seeing is a team that's going to be, I don't know, maybe 10-7, 9-8. We'll find a way to be like, oh god, how the fuck did you get there? Jesus Christ, how did you sneak into the 7th seed of the playoffs? I think that's what the Eagles is going to transition to. That's what the Eagles literally were after they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. They're this team that was 10-6, 9-7. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! How the fuck did you make the playoffs? Like, they were there. That's what the Eagles were. So
we got double doinked. Unfortunately, we got.
We'll have to wait and see what happens, but I really hope that this isn't what the Eagles have become, because I don't think they're going to luck into a spot where they can trade down from the first round to literally milk a first-round pick for a long time and build the defense up cheaply.
I mean, granted,
teams don't last forever. And like Super Bowl teams. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, like Super Bowl teams don't last forever. Like
that's true.
They're usually everything clicks all together, and then they go back to earth like the next year. Like we saw that with the Rams of 2021. Granted, it was a bunch of injuries.
The Eagles, though, is this defense is very young. It's very young, and I don't think it's even in their prime yet. There's still a lot of early first-round picks that first-round picks that have been making impact, but without like a veteran presence, they don't know really necessarily what to do, really. And I think the Eagles are maybe too pressed up against the cap to really do anything about it.
Yeah, all I'm thinking about with the Eagles right now is that long list of offensive coordinators that Jalen Hurts has had to work with. Don't be surprised if there's a new name added to that after this season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look, man, I think we need to, as much as we give Jalen Hurts shit, it really is impressive how much bullshit situations he's been in terms of coordinators that he's been able to overcome. Like, yeah, no duh, he wouldn't look as consistent as he did because he doesn't have the same fucking coordinator every time.
Yeah, it's just I feel like the Eagles on the point of how the last time they won a Super Bowl, they kind of half-assed everything afterwards. I feel like the Eagles more right now. It feels more. I don't think they're half-assing it fully. Like offense, I'd say they're half-assing it because Kevin Patel has been fucking a fucking moron when it comes to calling plays. I think defensively they'll be fine as long as Fangio's there, but it just feels like the offense just cannot be consistent to save their lives. And it doesn't matter how much talent you have if you can't be consistent enough for both sides of the ball to coexist and do what they have to do. It's not going to end well.
Agreed. It's just, again, people will say don't count this Eagles team out, and I'm not, but we have to be let's be a little realistic here. This Eagles team is we probably saw their peak last year. In all honesty, I don't see how anyone else could think that they haven't reached their peak already.
Yeah, don't count them out, but also there's concerns here, and it can't be ignored.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you guys had to say, or can we move on, or do you want to move on to our next game?
Next.
Okay. Well, guys, we haven't seen a murder publicized on television since R. Bud Dwyer, but yeah, Rams Buccaneers. That was
just sad. I just felt bad. I felt
like legitimately. If you're like, what are you supposed to do if you're the Bucks? You're down Baker. You're already barely trying to stay alive in your own division with how rough it is. It's just I can't even blame this team. It totally comes down to just, them just doing their best to just stay alive. That's all that needs to be said. The Rams are really good. The Buccaneers.
I mean, they're doing best. They're doing their best with what the cards they're dealt. And at this point in time, they're still leading the division.
Yeah, they still are. And granted, there's a whole bunch of inconsistency behind them, but I do not want another 2021 Baker situation to play out. I don't want another.
I don't know how long he's going to be. I don't know what's the status on him right now. But I just
he might play the next game, but you probably shouldn't have him play the next game.
What is their next game against anyway? Who is this?
Arizona.
I see. Well, I don't know. I guess that all depends. The South is always like. I really thought the Falcons were going to do something, but I keep doing it. I keep falling for it. I don't know what to do, man.
Well, the Falcons just don't want to. The Falcons don't know what they want to be either, if there's any solace in that. But yeah, it's kind of rough. And look, it would be different if like they had hope with Teddy B, but when Teddy B came in, it was still kind of rough.
Yeah, and they don't have And they didn't have a third string in case something happened to Teddy out there. So, yeah.
Well, there's just not much to really say about this game other than, yeah, the Rams are probably the best team in the NFL. Other than that, we have one more game to get into, and I'm going to say I'm going to say this right now. The Niners beat the Panthers in what we like to call a nothing burger of a game where nothing changes other than Brock Purdy did not look that good and Bryce Young did not look that good either. So I thought of a different way to spice things up. It's time for me to bust out what I'm calling the doomsday scenario. So for us AFC teams here, life seems pretty good. I think we're all generally on the consensus 11 wins gets us to the postseason for any of our teams. But I have some very, very, I would say eye-opening news. So, I did the math. There is a very solid possibility that a team could go 12-5 and miss the playoffs. And this wouldn't be something that I brought up that would be like, oh, and it'll never happen. It is incredibly possible. So let me pull it up real quick. So, obviously, we look at the teams right now amongst them all. I'm going to use the Bears as an example because that's the team I used earlier. But this pretty much fits for every single team. So obviously, the first thing that I will say, Green Bay has to beat Detroit on Thursday Night Football for this to work. Because it all revolves around them. Believe it or not, that tie helps them out so fucking much. So let's just jump into it. Let's say, all the playoff teams end up winning. LA beats Carolina, Seattle beats Minnesota. I don't think I'm forgetting anything else. Oh yeah, San Fran beats Cleveland and everything. Next week afterwards, we have the Rams beating the Cardinals. We have the Eagles winning. We have, of course, I guess, that is very weird. Sorry, real quick. I'm just making sure I'm not glossing over anything. But yeah, essentially, teams need to start. If these teams that are good keep on winning, we're gonna be in for a very odd awakening. Also, Philly beats Las Vegas. Don't think I'm missing anything else here. San Fran beats them. All right. Now here's where it all turns. Seattle also needs to beat LA, which is possible. Philly does that. Sorry, I'm still trying to get this all set up. San Fran. We have, brain checking through everything, making sure it's correct. 5. Detroit, Seattle, Green Bay, Philly, LA. All right, nothing else really changes there. San Fran, Green Bay, LA. I knew I was probably missing a game. There we go. So, I finally concocted the doomsday scenario. So in this case, I have the Bears finishing out with 4 wins. Obviously, they get them to 12. They beat Philly, Green Bay at Green Bay, the Cleveland Browns, and the Niners. All in all, that seems like you should get in. So, that week 13, Packers, Rams, San Fran Seahawks win. Week 14, Detroit, Seattle, LA, Chicago, Philly wins. Week 15, Chicago, Philly, San Fran, Detroit, Green Bay, Seahawks win. Seahawks, Green Bay, Philly, Detroit, San Fran wins. Detroit, Seattle, Green Bay, Philly, Chicago, LA wins. And then finally San Fran, LA, Green Bay, Detroit, and all that shit. This is all just to say I have concocted something to where essentially if the LA Rams somehow go 3-3 and make it to a 12-5 record, the NFC is fucked. 100% it is fucked. Because if any of these games just shift slightly, the funniest part too, this works because divisional games. The divisional games mean so much more than ever right now because, fun fact, if LA just drops the rest of their games to their divisional opponents, like, if they lose to, like, if they drop a game to Arizona, they're fucked. They're out of the playoffs in this scenario. Same with Philly, same with Detroit, Green Bay, Chicago, all of these teams. Essentially, this is what I'm calling the doomsday scenario. Why? Because with this simulation, I have mathematically proven that if everything turns out as it should be, you could be 12-5 and miss the playoffs. And that's something huge for a team like San Francisco, because imagine going through all those injuries, all those troubles, damn near fucking losing every single person on defense to go 12-5 and barely miss the playoffs. I know, speechless, incoherent ramblings of a Midwestern man, I know. But I just wanted to say that because that win in the Niners game has really screwed it over for everyone. No one is safe in the NFC, and no one in that 7th seed is going to be fought around like a goddamn musical chair for everyone.
It's going to be something.
Thoughts, comments?
It's going to be something, all right. I mean, if that happens, it would probably be just as funny and probably just as stressful for fan bases as it was when I guess the only thing I could really compare it to was the Raiders Chargers overtime game in 2021.
Oh, in that case, dude, it would be very funny if, like, these teams, like, obviously for Green Bay, it doesn't overly matter. Ironically enough, if Green Bay gets a tie, they're fucked. Green Bay would have to win, essentially. But Detroit and Chicago could just tie, and everything would be fine. LA could theoretically tie, and everything would be good. Same thing with San Fran and Seattle. Essentially, the one thing that fucks it up, if Green Bay gets if anyone ties, Green Bay's fucked. But yeah, that's all I just wanted to ramble on real quick because I thought it was pretty funny. Because if the doomsday scenario does happen, the 12-5 team who misses the playoffs, I'm gonna feel so bad for, and I will feel so much worse if it's my team too. Because like legitimately, also too, if a 12-5 team does not make the playoffs, I think we are gonna see that ruled at the I think it was this year where they tried advocating for there to basically be like, you know, if you win your division, it's still based on seeding for playoffs. So like you'd be the 7th seed even if you won the South.
I think they tried it, but I think a lot of people from what online really just said no. I think you win your division, you host a playoff game. No matter how bad you are, you host your playoff game. The answer, I will always say, then there's more benefit of being the 5th seed because then the likelihood of you winning that game is increased. You win your division, you get a home playoff game. I don't think they should be messing with how the seeding is. It is fine.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I agree. I'm just saying that would add more to the case as to why something like that could potentially happen.
Well, don't get me wrong. There's some divisions that are fucking hot garbage, but those divisions usually won't make it past the wild card or the divisional round if they somehow win.
By the way, we'll get back to this, but there is something worth talking about with the 49ers, not relating to Panthers versus 49ers, but relating to something happening with one of the players on the 49ers. So yeah, apparently Brandon Ayuk's gonna be gone. Like, he's just gone
Yeah.
from San Francisco.
Yeah, I agree. That IU contract felt like it was so regrettable the millisecond the Niners re-signed him to it. So regrettable.
Like he just doesn't want to be there. Like he got paid and got injured and then just like, fuck it, I don't want to be here. Like at least Myles Garrett is upholding his side of the deal for a year before that happens. But before he eventually is just like, I want to leave.
No, the moment he re-signed that contract, he's stuck there. I think no one would want to try and get that money on their books, and I think when you sign that, you're committed to the team. But the way how I see with Brandon Ayuk, I'll give him a little bit of a credit because he is recovering from an ACL surgery, and those take a very long time to fully recover from. So I will give him a mulligan this year, but if next year it feels like, why the hell is this guy making $34 million? Then I'm ready to cast him out. I did the same thing for Kyler Murray. I was like, you know what? There's some forgiveness and leeway. It takes 18 months to fully recover from an ACL surgery. Constant rehab. My sister has been through 4 different ACL surgeries. It's this not easy to come back from. It's not. It's impossible to come back from these types of injuries. Some people can do it. Not everybody can. So I'll give Ayuk a pass this year, but next year, if he's still playing this sloppy, then it's like, I think I'm ready for Ayuk to be cut and we'll enjoy retirement.
He is such a commander. We all know it.
He's such a commander.
But yeah. The only thing that I will say about the Panthers-Niners game, it happened, and it is certainly a game.
It is a game, and all positivity I have had left on Bryce Young is gone.
And look at all Bryce Young talk, and it's gone.
And
What?
it's gone. Wait, what? It's all gone. It's all gone. All gone.
Yeah. Well, I think that'll do it for us then.
Yeah.
Just like this stream, it's all gone.
Just like this stream, it's all gone. And remember, happy Thanksgiving for everybody here
Make sure
in the United States of America.
Upping the fixings, make sure that's all gone too, alright? We need our fans well fed.
Mm-hmm. Enjoy this weekend slate of football. It should be very entertaining. I certainly will be entertained by the slate of football. And
unfortunately for the basketball front.
Yeah, we also got rivalry week. Rivalry. Yeah.
It's okay. I hear Indiana will make it. We'll be gentle.
Dickhead.
All right, anyways, we'll see you guys. I don't know.
Wait. No, real quick. No,
just to go. This is going to be a completely different sport, but this is just kind of an emergency situation. Remember when I had hope for the 76ers?
I don't know why you did.
Just when things are turning a corner, everything's going back to the same things that tanked 2025. And at this point, I don't know what else has to happen. Nothing is working anymore, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry about the Sixers, man. They should be so much better.
Have they tried gambling on prop bets and have just really nailed the unders, man? They're making somebody motherfucking rich as hell. Damn. Why don't I gamble?
Because
I have
I don't think
I have a thing called decency.
You can gamble on this stream ending now.
Yeah.
True.
Okay, cool.
Bet the
Anyways,
under.
later.